time consuming was in place. So when the learner asks, he makes sure he monitor each activities the learner were doing. So
why he wanted to communicate to the student, because after he read the topic, he said, "Do you understand me?" And then he got some responses before. He didn't ask that top of the big question.
He was not focusing on them, but rather he was focusing on this group. I was asking, "Are you paying attention to me?" He said, "Yeah, that I focus on me." And he gave me a group on his side was not also focusing on me, which is not good. Because
I saw it as wanting the students to demonstrate what stopped a car from moving. But exercise we did show us that objects move based upon different forms of energy. Yeah, so the question was not in line with the practical we did. Nice one.
In the heart of Liberia, a new wave of innovation is taking root. The Ministry of Education, in partnership with the Practical Education Network of Ghana and with the generous support of UNIDO, has ignited a transformative journey for educators. This is the story of the STEM hands-on training workshop for Liberia Master Trainers, a catalyst for change, empowering teachers to shape a brighter future for science and technology education in Liberia.
Of course, we try mathematical to do this thing was difficult. They try to get a habit. If I'm teaching geometry, if I'm teaching them polygon, alright, now waste of time. But when you get all the local material, the children, what you have to do now, by the time you do it, tell them different size from the apple to the apple. Like you really that, I think that would be fun. It's heavy. At the time we're teaching this one again, we are library is ready in your room.
Our students are failing right, not because they are wrong, but because we don't have hands-on experience to our laboratory. And now you are the one. Okay, we're about to commission 50 labs. We are doing retrofitting for 50 labs in our 50 public schools. We have 28 additional expansion labs, new one. Nobody have worked, we have those active experiments. Then we have 3 model schools with state-of-the-art labs and an ICT, ICT running. Today we have EdTech running in our school system. But 3 years ago we didn't have these things running. But today we are changing the dynamics of our STEM programs. Now who do we depend on? We depend on you.
Recognizing the critical need to enhance STEM education, Liberia's Ministry of Education collaborated with the Practical Education Network, Ghana, and UNIDO. This partnership forged a powerful alliance to equip Liberian teachers with cutting-edge, hands-on pedagogical approaches.
My name is Heather Beam. I'm the CEO and founder of PEN, Practical Education Network, a STEM education nonprofit organization headquartered in Ghana, now with a branch in Liberia. We are working to promote hands-on learning in science and math classrooms across the African continent. Our vision is an Africa sustainably transformed by generations of problem solvers. We believe that the youth in Africa have the potential to solve the problems that face our daily life here on the continent. But at the foundational level in schools, young people need the opportunity to access those problem-solving and critical thinking, skills-building opportunities. And we believe this can be facilitated through the science and math classrooms that everybody goes through. The only key thing is to enable teachers to know how to do that, especially in contexts where there may be limited resources. Let's say a school doesn't have a lab. Most teachers feel that it's not feasible for them to enable these young people to get to experience anything practical or hands-on that will build those problem-solving skills we all desire from young people. So at PEN, our approach is to partner with the Ministry of Education, as we are doing here in Liberia, to organize trainings for science and math teachers from elementary all the way through high school. In these training programs, we take teachers through how they can use low-cost, locally available materials to teach activities that are still in line with the national curriculum. We've been doing this in Ghana for about 10 years with great success, and we started working in Liberia back in about 2022, organizing these training programs. And it was really exciting organizing our Phase 2 training in partnership with UNIDO, the UN Industrial Development Organization. In Phase 2, we got to organize a follow-on training for 10 teachers who came through Phase 1. We got to go to Kakata, to UNIDO's TVET training facility, and further equip these 10 outstanding teachers from the initial cohort to now become trainers in what we had trained them in. And it was really fulfilling, spending 4 days with these 10 teachers who exhibited great motivation, enthusiasm to continue transforming their classrooms into places where young people don't just learn by taking notes and memorizing things, but get to actually build things, test out their ideas, experiment, explore. And we're really hopeful for what the future holds in continuing to partner with the Ministry of Education in organizing such trainings so that we see in Liberian classrooms young people all across the country going to learn science and math in a practical way, using local materials which are sustainable for teachers and schools to continue using long after the training program ends. So we want to say a big thank you to our partners at UNIDO, the Ministry of Education, the STEM Education Unit, the Assistant Minister for STEM and TVET, the Deputy Minister for Instruction, all who've shown incredible support to enable this training program to come off. We're grateful for the support. We're grateful for the opportunity to collaborate with the Ministry of Education to further their efforts to improve STEM education for Liberian youth. And we look forward to a future where this happens across the whole country, where young people across Liberia on a daily basis when they go to school are engaged with science and math in a fun, interactive, and practical way.
The workshop focused on training a cohort of dedicated master trainers. These educators were immersed in interactive sessions, learning modern teaching techniques and practical STEM applications designed to boost classroom engagement.
PEN is a not-for-profit organization. It's established by the CEO, Dr. Hera King. PEN has been in Africa since 2016. PEN started operation in Nigeria with the first focus for the UNIDO national training project in 2022, where we were able to train 33 teachers. Out of them, the 32 were able to graduate from the first cohort of training. That training was basically centered towards revealing the idea of taking teachers from the traditional system of their teaching, where it was just the center, into a new, or so to say, the application we're doing teaching, which is hands-on. So I think our vision is for every child in Africa to learn by doing themselves. And with that, it aligns with the vision that we want to have a generation of African children have sustained problems and solving solutions. So we intend to do that partly to improve the capacity of those who are teaching the students, or who are teaching the kids, and then they will be able to train as master trainer and go to cascade the training to other teachers who will also go and also train us. So like we'll be rolling it out in phases and then maybe they can take over the program.
I've been in Liberia for the past few days to facilitate the essentials of hands-on teaching for STEM teachers, and I can say that it has been a very good learning experience for myself, leading 10 teachers who are being trained to become master trainers to cascade PEN's training to other teachers in other communities. I must say that it has been a good learning experience, and the teachers have shown a high level of commitment and dedication to the entire 4 days program. PEN's instructional strategy is focused on the use of locally available material. So PEN is actually doing what people dare not do. They pushing teachers to go outside their comfort zones and then use what is available around them to teach science in a hands-on and practical way. Because most teachers believe that without the sophisticated lab they cannot teach science, they tend to put practicals aside and go with a traditional method, notes memorization, lecture-based learning, which I know in the past years have not been able to solve the problems of Africa. On the first day, we looked at inquiry-based learning. On the second day, we looked at how to modify activities in the PEN hands-on resource manual, and the event where you cannot carry out activities in the PEN hands-on resource manual, you should be able to design your own activities. We looked at that as well. We also looked at strategies which teachers or facilitators can use to store hands-on resources in their classroom. So we realized that in Africa, we have everything it takes to make our learners actually do better. But normally, because we are more focused on examination, we tend to throw practice away. And this is PEN here saying that you can use locally available materials like balloon, like bottles, and all these things we see around us. Spaghetti to teach science, mathematics in a hands-on and practical way. And this is what we want to preach to the whole world, to the whole of Liberia, to the whole of Africa, that it is still possible to teach science and mathematics in a practical way, even in limited resource environment. You can still make your classroom very engaging. And today, which is the last day, happens to be where we build the facilitation skills of these master trainers to go out there and cascade the training as they go ahead. So I can say that we are most grateful to our donors, to our funders, and to all who have made this program successful.
Participants were equipped with the confidence and practical skills to become apostles of hands-on STEM education. The impact of this training extends far beyond the workshop. These master trainers are now poised to cascade their knowledge, reaching countless teachers and subsequently thousands of Liberian students. By infusing MIT-style learning by doing into classrooms, regardless of resource constraints, this initiative aims to revolutionize STEM pedagogy, fostering a generation of innovators and problem solvers. The establishment of functional science laboratories in select public schools, alongside such training programs, signifies a robust commitment to quality education and professional development for teachers nationwide.
As all of us are aware, our country has been used to the traditional style of teaching, and so with this new set of training that has been organized by the Practical Network Education, we have learned that science becomes more interesting when we teach it by using local materials. There has been a greater impact, not only for us as teachers, but also for our learners. It's more innovative, it's more creative, and it is more student-centered.
Over the past years, we understand that as a teacher in the days were actually doing the learning basically by themselves and not really getting the student involved. But with the intro and the knowledge PEN has given us, it has improved our knowledge significantly in the classroom. This time around, you understand that the teacher will enter in the classroom doing limited work or just guiding his learners, and then the children themselves are actually demonstrating.
To be honest, Practical Education Network has transformed us a lot. You know, During the days, we normally got involved into this traditional style of teaching, leaving all of the burdens on you, the teachers, instead of getting the students involved. But with this practice from Practical Education Network, it has gotten us to know that it is advisable that you use the inquiry-based learning, where students will be fully involved in their lesson instead of the teachers, alone doing all of the work. So it is actually interesting that Practical Education Network have come up with these kind of ideas for us to help our kids in our various schools.
I appreciate Ewa so much for the knowledge and inquire. To be realistic, PEN make sense to look interesting by using local materials in a classroom. And one of the key things I really take from there is the inquiry-based learning, where you don't use only one strategist to teach, but you use different strategies so that the student will be able to figure out answers for themselves. That is one of the main things.
And so when PEN was introduced to Liberia, I was kind of interested into it because I wanted to know what new strategies am I going to use in the classroom based on the traditional way of teaching, where every time we'll be writing sufficient note for our students and they're talking and talking and talking. And so when PEN came and introduced hands-on activities, I was like, wow, this is a very interesting aspect of the learning area, where instead of you alone doing all of the teaching, now you have all of the students there being involved and engaged into the learning process.
The STEM hands-on training workshop for Liberia Master Trainers is more than just a training program. It's an investment in Liberia's future. Through strategic partnerships and a shared vision, Liberia is building a strong foundation for STEM excellence, empowering its educators and inspiring its students to reach for the stars.